Today on DNVR Buffs Live, how Julian Lewis can rescue a lost season. And I'll give you a hint. It doesn't necessarily have to result in wins. Let's do it.
Buff Nation,
Let's go.
Squad. Coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. It's another week of DNVR Buffs Live. An absolutely loaded show today as well.
You're loaded?
Sure. It's not what I said, but sure.
Bro, just putting words in your mouth already.
It's crazy. Like 3 times today. How we doing?
We're just cracking, man.
Not much. Ready to talk some ball?
I am.
Doing great. We had an electric trade deadline show despite no trades by the Broncos.
Of course not.
So I'm in a great mood.
Hell yeah. The 7-2 Denver Broncos.
First place.
First place, baby. With the Raiders on Thursday night.
Big one.
Is it?
Yes.
All divisional games are big, right?
Get to go to 8-2.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just the Raiders' annual ass whooping, so.
Well, let's move on.
We're moving on. Julian Lewis, Coach Prime in the Colorado Buffaloes. He confirmed it today. We talked about it yesterday. Matt Zenitz had the report. Coach Prime didn't even have to be asked about it. He just said it in his opening address that Julian's going to be starting. We'll react to quite a bit from Coach Prime's press conference today. A lot of recruiting stuff. We had a commitment and decommitment in the same day.
Not by the same person. That would have been crazy.
No, of course not. CFP rankings come out tonight, and then we'll discuss Colorado men's basketball starting the season off 1-0.
Oh, yeah.
Julian Lewis.
Yeah. Super excited for Julian. You know, I think it's had to have been hard for him to be on the bench for the first time since God knows when. And you finally get your opportunity on Saturday night to really get extended playing time. And I thought he definitely showed flashes, but I can't imagine it's easy for a quarterback to find a rhythm knowing how limited your time is, knowing that the defense kind of knows what you're doing. You're already in a massive blowout. And I still think that Julian represented himself very well in that game. But now he gets a proper start, a proper chance to prepare all week as a starter, to have those meetings with the offensive staff where you're telling them what you like, what you don't like. And I said at the top of the show that I think Julian can rescue the season without even winning games. Now, don't get me wrong by any stretch of the mind. I would love to see us win games, specifically all 3 of them. But that's not a one-person job. That's at the very least a 22-person job and probably more like a 45-person job.
Yeah.
But if you can get Julian Lewis to really hit a stride at some point, whether that's in this first game and he just goes out there and really he goes, 17 for 22 with 2 touchdowns, 225 yards. You will completely and utterly change the course of the way people are talking about the rest of this season, the way people remember this season, the way people are talking in the off season more than anything. And I was telling this to Akib yesterday, like, you have to have hope
For sure.
in this, especially in this era of college football. And so what Julian Lewis can do, and it doesn't have to be this weekend, it can be gradual over this game, the next game, and potentially one more after that, depending on how things are going. But Julian Lewis can put hope back into Buff Nation, put hope back into the idea of, okay, we're recruiting around Julian Lewis.
Exactly.
We need to, Mr. Donor, you need to donate so that we can get the right guys around Julian Lewis and bring the right guys in here. So look, it's not Julian's job to come in and win all these football games. It'd be great if he could be a big part of winning football games. But if he can show out, it will change the course of this offseason.
And it could change the entire perception of this season and of this program moving forward. Because right now, the perception of this program isn't in a good spot. A lot of people who thought that this program would kind of fall off to a certain degree after Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter left, at this point, they probably feel like they're right. But with Julian Lewis now in the fold and him potentially going out there and doing what we know he's all capable of, kind of what we saw glimpses of last Saturday against Arizona, that could change the whole perception of where this program is headed. Because I talk about it all the time, man. I look at football very simply, man. Do you believe in the head coach? Do you believe in the quarterback? As we're going through a quarterback transition here now, he has the opportunity to clean that slate and instill confidence and hope in the fan base and in the locker room, right? We talk about sometimes how when a coach gets fired, there's kind of that fired coach kind of post bump, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like we see that a lot of times in football too, when a backup or a new quarterback, especially a 100%. Young guy who there's already a lot of belief in the locker room, gets inserted into the lineup, the guys around them start playing with more juice, start playing with more confidence. And I think that is potentially what we're going to see on Saturday with Julian Lewis in the fold. And he has an excellent opportunity in front of him. This West Virginia defense is one of the worst in the Big 12. Obviously, the record is what it is, but 14th in the conference in terms of points allowed, in terms of total yards allowed, in terms of passing yards allowed. Houston was pretty much able to do what they wanted to offensively last week, but it was 4 turnovers, 2 interceptions by Connor Wigman, 2, at least one where it was just an open palm. He goes to throw and the ball just slips out of his hand and West Virginia falls on it. He did that twice, Wegman did. So as long as Juju can take care of the football and just get into a rhythm, right? Because he is such a rhythm accurate passer, very much like Shedeur Sanders. If you can just get him into a rhythm early, get him confident early, give him some easy completions that open up, the longer kind of shots down the field, I think Juju's in a really good position to ball out and to, like I said, really change the perception of this season and the direction of where this program appears to be headed to a lot of people out there.
100%. You saw it from West Virginia the last 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Scotty Fox Jr. has just injected life into that football program.
For sure.
It's resulted in points and a big win. Like, this happens, as you said, all the time in college football, especially when you go to these freshmen. So you got to hope that's what happens, and you hope the team responds and plays up to more than what they're capable of. Like you were saying, that just inspired football,
right?
Because you really need that this week. The team loves Julian, though. We saw it ever since he's shown up.
From day one.
I mean, how the guys just gravitate towards him, how they talk about him. Everyone seems to be his friend. They want to be around him. And so, not to say that this wasn't the case for Caden. I know he's well liked in that locker room, but I'm sure they saw a lot of the practice field too, and they've been waiting for this to come along as long as Julian and everyone else has. So this could be really exciting.
What are fair expectations?
In terms of...
From a stat line perspective, just to put it into simpler terms.
60%, 200 plus, 2 tuds.
You think that's fair?
I think we all would be ecstatic about that. So maybe a little bit below that is fair. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like around, I agree with you on 60%. 175 in a touchdown, no turnovers. I would be like, hell yeah.
I mean, no turnovers would be
massive.
Key.
For sure.
And then you know what? Give me 20 rushing yards too.
Yeah, I agree.
He showed you something.
100%. I think, like I said, I think we would be ecstatic with the stat line that you mentioned earlier and the one that you just put up. So, like I said, I think just a little bit below that would be fair and still would make people pretty happy.
What do you think fair is?
So, Brian Howell tweeted this out. The last 3 true freshman starting debuts for Colorado.
Okay.
You have Ryan Staub at Utah, 17 of 24, 195 yards and a touchdown. That's a late season first start.
Should have been 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Solid.
Should have been 2 touchdowns. Really, really good job. I don't know what 17 of 24 is efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Owen McCown versus UCLA.
Yeah.
Owen McCown is balling right now.
Yeah.
26 of 42 pass attempts for a true freshman starting his first game is crazy. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And then Sefo Lufau versus Charleston Southern. 14 for 20, 198 yards and a touchdown. That's right in that area that all of us are talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that those are fair. I do always keep in mind that all of the people who tell me Julian is not like those other true freshmen.
Yeah.
So I am excited at the potential of him exceeding what I think are fair expectations. But I do think right around 200 yards.
Yeah.
The completion percentage stuff would be a huge bonus.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of these guys only had 1 touchdown. So 1 touchdown to 2 would be great. Of all the talk we've had about the perfect situation, from a facing a defense perspective, this one's pretty darn good.
For sure.
I don't love that it's on the road across the entire country, but not everything can be perfect.
Yep. Sure. And I don't love the fact that it could potentially rain. I know I always used to hate seeing that as a former quarterback. But I think Juju is the type of dude who isn't going to be fazed by that. And as we're talking about his numbers, I feel like Juju can show us some things that could have people optimistic that have nothing to do with like stats or what he does on the field. Like Coach Prime mentioned it briefly today.
Yeah.
And just in terms of, you got to let them know that you're in command and you're in control. Because his team is looking for leadership, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want him to look not only like he belongs, but like he is in control. Getting in and out of the huddle, getting guys lined up correctly. There's no pre-snap penalties, false starts, because there might be some of that with a different cadence.
For sure.
And whatnot in the game for the first time hearing it live, or at least for him as a starter. But those type of things, like I said, the command, the control, the situational football, the throwing the football away when you need to, taking off when the situation presents itself, those type of things that won't necessarily show up on the stat sheet are also things that are going to be evaluated and could potentially give this team and fan base hope about, Juju in his future.
I mean, I have hope for that. He's played very instinctually, I thought, on Saturday night. Did not look like a true freshman in terms of deer in the headlights, overwhelmed, like none of those dropbacks where it's just they clearly have no idea what they're looking back, take a nasty hit, looking at, take a nasty hit. You know what I mean? So, and I think that this week of preparation is going to help too. I mean, this is his first week being prepped as the starter as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting all these practice reps, getting all those extra talkings to from the play caller, from Coach Prime, from Jordan, from just all the teammates, like everything. Like, it's possible. I think you see even a little bit more of a jump that you saw from Saturday already. Because again, this guy is not normal. Like, this is not a normal freshman, not a normal 18-year-old.
Yeah. One thing I would love to see, and again, this is a part of a development process that shouldn't be expected overnight, is just hanging in the pocket a little longer before bailing out. Heck, we're even seeing Bo Nix doing that on Sunday. Yeah. Where it's just like, okay, I got to get out of here, and you end up going the wrong way, where the play's not flowing that way. But again, I also think when you're in such a condensed situation, your sense of urgency is like unnecessarily high.
Yeah.
It's just like they're giving him the rock with 9 minutes left in the third quarter, and he's like, oh man, like hopefully I get 3 drives, but I gotta like make the most of all of the
Right.
And so now I think you get to hopefully go in with a more settled, lower heart rate into this game. Like Juju's back into his comfort zone.
Yes.
Right. His comfort zone is being the starting quarterback of a football team, preparing all week like that. And I think that the team is going to see a different version of Juju this week. Just more locked in, more of a leader, more kind of just pushing things forward because he's finally given that title that he's used to.
Hell yeah.
Totally. All right, let's get to press conferences. But first, a word from our friends over at
Bless you.
God bless you.
God
Dick's
bless.
Sporting Goods, because every season starts at Dick's. Basketball season for CU just got tipped off last night.
Show
Yes, it
did.
did.
Hockey season, wrestling season, as some of y'all know. And then, of course, I mean, just anytime you're in a transition of season, I mean, there's got to be clearance stuff for football and baseball and all that stuff. So go get ready for next year as well. Plus all the hottest apparel and footwear from top brands like Nike, Adidas, FP Movement, Calia, DNVR, and much more. They got tons of DNVR swag here at the Colorado one, so go check them out and get your gear fast with free curbside pickup at your nearest store, easy shipping from Dix.com, because every season starts at Dix.
We got to start, I got to choose one or the other, because on the Broncos show, I do the second break.
I was going
to say, I do the first break, and I
thought we had this figured out. I thought
did.
you always do the first one. I do the second one.
I need to change one of these. So that it's always the same for me. Shout out to our friends over at Taco Bell. We actually have a quick video to play from this Saturday of our friends over at Taco Bell. So let's check that out.
Please welcome to the field Rob Alvarado, CEO and president of Taco Bell in Alvarado Restaurant Nation, as he presents a check for $500,000 benefiting the Crawford Family Whole Student Athlete Program. Accepting tonight's generous gift is the Crawford Family Whole Student Athlete Director, Dr. Teresa Hernandez, Rick George, and the rest of the University of Colorado. We thank you, Rob Alvarado and Taco Bell.
Shout out
Love
Taco
that.
Bell.
Shout out to Taco Bell, the whole squad there, in the matching outfits, man. They bring the
Fresh.
energy to game day.
Yes.
So
That's awesome.
big shout out to our friends over at Taco Bell. $500,000.
That's $500,000.
Sheesh.
That could help. That should help.
Yep.
We good?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get to press conferences. Here's what Coach Prime had to say about Julian, a little bit about what he saw on Saturday, and just, moving forward.
He's cool.
He's good. He's throwing the heck out of the ball. He's a young kid. We're going to make young kids mistakes, but it's up to the staff to get him prepared, to get him ready so he could be concise and precise. He has to make quick reads and get the ball out of their run when he feels pressure, and just be himself. Just do what you've been doing your whole life.
What were the main things that stood out, good and bad, about his performance?
I don't talk about bad. I don't want to do that. The good things that he got the ball out in certain situations. He saw what was coming, what was happening. He received information and tried to apply it, what he was receiving through the headset, which he did a good job about that. And he was more talkative to his teammates. What I mean by that is you got to communicate with your linemen, your backs, your receivers. You got to let them know that you're there, you're in command, you're in control, and because they're looking for leadership.
All said off the top there, he was asked about Julian's hand, which, of course, didn't finish the game on Saturday. And something happened with his hand. Ref stopped the game. Coach Prime said he's all good. So
Yeah, as broken by RK on the postgame show. It was just a cramp. And again, it was scary. I don't know where you guys were when that happened, but from my view, I just saw him looking down at his hand and showing his hand to the ref, and I just assumed he got a gash on there. That's why he's showing the blood to the ref, hey, I got to get off the field.
And if you remember, at the end of his senior year, or
Yeah.
junior, whatever you want to call it, junior, senior year, he had the hand injury that kind of had him at less than 100% as Carrollton, went through the playoffs.
Yeah, that was scary. That took the wind out of my sails there for a second, where I was just please, please, please. But he's fine. And when you rewatch it on the tape, it's clear he didn't hit anything or anything like that. He just threw the pass, and then his hand kind of just
Interesting.
cramped up on him.
Interesting. Yeah, I love that answer there from Coach Prime about Juju, just in terms of just being himself and just doing what he's done all his life. He has been an elite quarterback since he's been playing the quarterback position. And that much playing the position the way he has shouldn't really change. His mindset, the way he goes about preparation and the way he goes about playing on Saturday shouldn't be too different than how he has always gone about it. And especially my thing, I love that he talked about the leadership as well, right? Because we saw the clip that came out this week from the game where, Juju's kind of on the sideline talking to JoJo through route adjustments and whatnot. And hey, if you see this, do this. Ooh. And that type of stuff is so important. And Coach Prime said it there, these guys are looking for leadership. That's obviously a buzzword that has been used a lot this season. And on a football team, the expectation is, particularly for good football teams, is that a lot of that leadership comes from the quarterback position. And if Juju is already showing signs that he is not only capable but willing to take over that leadership responsibility, that could be just as valuable as what he might bring from a physical, from a playing standpoint. So I'm just really excited for Juju, man. This is a really great opportunity, and he's just going to need some help from that offensive coaching staff to be put in the right situation, to be prepared the right way for what West Virginia might throw at him. And that's really my only worry with Juju. It's not about him. It's not about how he might play or react to the moment. It's about, is he going to be put in the best position to succeed? Is he going to be prepared the right way? Those are the only things that have me, or that just give me a little bit pause about this path, this era we're about to enter.
Well, let's talk about the coaching staff. Coach Prime was asked about potential changes to the coaching staff, and here's what he had to say today.
I might already change it, and you don't know. I don't do stuff and blow the whistles in and make major announcements. Hey, I don't do that kind of stuff. I do it, and I let you guys still take shots. You don't even know you may be shooting at the wrong target. So some things take place that you may not be privy to.
At what point would we figure? At what point would they be changes that we do notice, though?
That's up to you to notice them. They may have already happened.
So what changes are we looking for on Saturday?
Heart, passion, desire.
With the coaching staff.
I couldn't hear the clip totally. So what was said?
He said that he's made changes, and he's not going to be one to whistle, stand from the mountaintops, announce these changes. And he also said that, if you look close enough, basically you could see some.
That's hilarious that I started with heart when I was talking about the one in your chest. But that's also a coach. I think it'll be hard to see most of this stuff from the sidelines. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was someone else calling plays.
I mean, I wouldn't either.
It was a long time coming, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, if you're going to make a change, it'd be when you change the quarterbacks, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's probably going to be the same offense run, though. You know what I'm saying? We've talked about this.
You can't change that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much can really change this season. Ideally, you just want, in terms of what I want to see, I just want to see a balanced game called. I want to see some creativity. I want to see Juju put in positions to succeed, whether that be some max protection stuff, whether that be the quick game to get him into a rhythm, because he is a rhythm passer. But I think the changes that we really need to see doesn't seem like they're going to happen within the next month. You know what I'm saying? The changes that I think this team really needs to undergo in terms of a new coordinator and play caller, quarterback coach added to the staff.
They need a new offense.
They need a new offense, bro. Yeah. And like I said, and that's not something that can happen in the next month. So it's all about Juju and making sure these next 3 games or 2 games, however he plays, if you want to preserve the red shirt or whatnot, it has to be just about making sure he's comfortable and that you don't, and I don't think this is a real possibility, but make sure that you don't hurt his confidence at all by the plays you call, by the things that might transpire, things that are in your control as a coaching staff. You have to make sure that it goes in Julian's way the best you can, because this is a sensitive situation. This is a true freshman we're talking about still at the end of the day, an 18-year-old who is coming in.
He should be
at week 10, week 11.
Yeah. Should be in high school right now.
He should be in high school right now. Yep. And this is all very new for him. And again, maybe this might just be my fandom as a Chicago Bears fan, but we've seen, and this isn't just specific to the Chicago Bears, this is specific to football. We've seen talented guys, to no fault of their own, be hurt by their coaching staff, be held back by their coaching staff and whatnot. And that's the last thing we need to happen here, because Juju has it. And he just needs a little help, particularly early on as a true freshman, to help unlock that and to put it on display for everybody to see.
Yeah, I think that the goal, it's going to be interesting because West Virginia is coming into this game thinking, okay, their goal is going to be to get the ball out quick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so you're going to have to
you have to know that as a staff.
Yes.
And you have to have some counters to that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to get the ball out quick. You don't want to leave Juju back there in the pocket running around for his life, And the last 2 weeks, we've seen stuff that we haven't seen from this offensive line all season.
Yeah.
In terms of letting guys free.
Yeah.
So obviously they're going to send pressure. the fun thing for Julian is if they're sending pressure and they're trying to take away the short stuff, well, there's only one way out of there, and that's up.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep.
And so, we saw him do it to O on the outside.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I would be licking my chops at if I'm Juju. Like, okay, yeah, we're probably going to run some RPO stuff. I'm going to need to hit these slants. But
I want to see double move first play of the game.
yeah, like when it comes down to it,
I want to see hitch and go, sluggo, first play of the game. And like you said, to a counter. West Virginia probably sitting on those. They're probably going to be trying to jump those.
I've been waiting for fake screen all year.
That too.
Yeah.
You got to see it.
Let's hope.
Let's hope is right.
Next, Coach Prime. I mean, he was kind of criticized for this, for not allowing the players or not having any players speak after the game on Saturday.
He was.
Just depending on where you look, I guess.
Yeah.
So Coach Prime was asked about that and basically just laid out what criticism means, what his role is as a coach when it comes to defending criticism and all that in the day and age of 2025.
It is.
does
Everything's
not.
fair. Everything is fair that you guys do until it gets personal.
Okay.
It's okay to talk about the performance. It's okay to talk about me in every realm. But when it gets personal, that's when you're stepping across the lines. You can't step across that line because we don't. If we get personal with you, it's going to be a problem because you're going to get sensitive. Like we get sensitive in the part when you step across the line with the kids. So that's keep it football related, and we're good.
Okay.
You
situation like
can't.
this.
You can't. You know what, my man? That's a great question. Let me tell you why. I have a fatherly spirit, and I have an overseer spirit. I'm trying to shield my guys from certain things that may harm them. I know the temperature of the room. I know if they can't handle this at this time. Certain guys can, certain guys can't. I can't differentiate those guys and tell you, you can talk to them, but you can't talk to them. I don't want to do that. So my job is to protect them and put an umbrella around them until I feel like they're ready for the attacks and the assaults and ready for the social media gambit, which they're dealing with right now. So that's just me being a protector, a guardian, and a father, which we all call coach back in the day.
Look, you can't say that Coach Prime needs to be more accountable and then criticize him for being the only one who wants to stand up there or wanting to be the only one who stands up there at the same time.
Yeah.
And so I think if this was the NFL, it would be a very different case. But it's not. And I respect Coach Prime for saying, like, I'm going to protect the kids. And I'll stand up here and you guys can criticize me as long as you keep it away from being personal. But I don't want to put them in a bad position right now.
Right.
And I think that's a respectable thing to do.
Especially after a game like the one on Saturday against Arizona where you play 4 different quarterbacks. No matter who you send out there from a player perspective, whether it's Caden or Juju, that's going to be an interesting situation for them, like an uncomfortable one. And if you don't send a quarterback out there, you send another player, well, guess what they're going to be asked about? They're going to be asked about the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
And that is an uncomfortable and unfair position to put any of those players in. And I think as long as he doesn't make it a habit, you know what I'm saying? I think it was perfectly fine after that performance to want to shield and protect your players from potentially saying something full of emotion. You know what I'm saying? And again, it would be completely different if this is the NFL, but at the end of the day, was you going to put 18-year-old Julian Lewis up there after a game where he, was thrown in the middle of a fire third quarter? Like, that wouldn't be fair. You're going to put
He can handle it.
He can.
Yeah.
I think it would be unfair, though. Same with Salter. You're going to throw him out there after he got benched and have people ask him, why do you think you were benched?
Definitely don't do that. Yeah.
Exactly. You're going to have Seaton up there. Why do you think, Salt got benched? What did you, it's just uncomfortable, I think, in my opinion. So, again, as long as this doesn't become a habit, I think it was fine. But the one thing I don't necessarily like when he came in the room after the game Friday, he was like, don't attack the coordinators. The coaches and the coordinators are open to criticism. And again, as long as it doesn't get personal, obviously, like Coach Prime alluded to there, because that's always out of bounds. But the coaches and coordinators, and we talked about it, we've heard from Pat Shurmur and Robert Livingston one time this season since week one time. And I don't think that's very cool. And I don't think that is keeping those guys accountable. But
Favorite word.
So look, I mean, people were getting really upset with how long it took for Julian to get in, right? And we tried telling people, we think he's protecting him. And Coach Prime comes out and basically says he's protecting him. The reason why he's protecting him so much is because it's a point of no return now. Like, you put Julian in the game, you announce him as the starter, like, you start the process. Like, boom, there's no more protecting him anymore.
Facts.
So that's why he was kind of, I think, like, holding on to that, especially once you mix in Julian's age, you know, just turning 18 and all that. How this season was going, you know, how Caden was being attacked, you know, how Staub was even getting it when he was put in the game. You know what I mean? Like, so I totally get it, because it is a point of no return now. Like, and if you do return at this point, then the questions really start to heat up, because then it's, you know, why isn't Julian out there? You know, what happened to him being a 5-star, all this stuff. So it's a delicate situation, and you can't, as frustrating as it may be for us and as for fans to, you know, quote, watch Coach Prime idly stand by as this goes on. Like, I'm sure there's a war in his head going, okay, is now the time? Like, okay, what happens if it's not the time and I'm too early here? Like, what kind of situation could we have in our hands? So, and it goes back to what we said yesterday, man. Like, it's not Madden, it's not CFP 26. Like, this is a living, breathing, like an organism as a team. Like, there's 150 plus people with feelings and thoughts and goals and aspirations, and you know, like, all this stuff plays into itself. So, it's a delicate situation. That's the best way I can put it.
And real quick, there was something I saw earlier that I wanted to talk about, because whether it's our job, which is obviously being here, you guys are at the press conferences, whatever it is, like, our role is public, so people get to see it. And so it's a lot easier to say, oh, you should do this or you should do that. And I saw someone in the comments say, like, well, the reporter should have followed up with Prime saying, what coaching changes are you making? And he already said in his answer, I'm not going to scream it from the mountaintops. So he's not going to answer that. He's already told you, I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to give you the sound bite that you want of exactly what's changing. If you guys look closely, you'll be able to see it. And the other thing is that I don't think everyone necessarily understands. And by the way, I'm defending other people because I'm not in these press conferences. Is you only get one. Now, sometimes people get two.
yes.
But you only get one chance with that microphone in your hand. So if your question is to follow up, well, what coaching changes do you make? And then Coach Prime says, I'm not answering that. Well, you're done. That was your shot today.
So Harrison Simeon's the one who asked that question about the coaching staff. And he followed that up when Coach was, you know, talking about, you know, I don't blow the whistles and make major announcements. Harrison asked him, you know, at what point would we be able to notice the changes? And that's when he said, that's up to you to notice them. Like, that's how these things go a lot of the time. Like, he's not going to, even if you ask a second follow-up question, it's not like he's just going, oh, they asked a second question. Here's some more info.
Coach Prime has been standing in front of cameras and microphones since he was probably 16, 17 years old. He knows exactly how to do exactly what he wants to do while he's up there. And that's part of his job.
Yeah.
You know, is to control the narrative in a way that he wants to do it. So he's not going to answer any question that he doesn't want to answer. And that one specifically, he said, I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
Period. Well said.
Let's take our next break. And then we will get back to press conferences. Shout out to the homies over at Game Time. We say goodbye to baseball, but we have 3 other major sports still.
Oh, baseball's over?
Yeah, it's over. You didn't watch, bro?
Did it start?
You were watching the game.
You were locked
That's
in.
true. I was watching. One of the second coolest thing that happened at Folsom on Saturday night was during halftime when I was in the field house is when Bo Bichette hit that 3-run home run. And like everyone was locked in. So there was like a loud eruption when that happened. That was cool.
Well, you can get tickets to next baseball season if you really want. NHL is in full swing. So is the NBA. And college football is coming down the home stretch. It's almost playoff time, or it's getting to that time in the NFL as well. So make sure you hit up Game Time to get all your tickets, not just for that, but concerts, events, whatever's going on in your city. Take the guesswork out of buying your tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, use the promo code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off. Tap Ticket Go. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it?
Game time. And shout out to the squad, our good friends over at Monarch Money, man. Especially this time of year. Holidays coming up, Christmas right around the corner, man. We must keep track of where our money is going. And Monarch Money is honestly the best place for you to do that, to keep track of your finances so you can feel organized and confident in your finances. Monarch Money is an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface, whether it's on your laptop or on your phone. And right now, just for our listeners, Monarch is offering 50% off your first year. That's an unbelievable deal that you must take advantage of, especially because Monarch was just named the best budgeting app of 2025 by the Wall Street Journal. So don't let financial opportunity, slip through the cracks. Use code DNVR at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR. Shout out to Monarch.
Shout out. All right. More from today's pressers. Let's talk about recruiting. And we'll get into it right now as well. The Buffs had a commitment and a decommitment today. Coach Prime was kind of asked about that. He spoke about that on Saturday too, right? We'll talk about the recruiting moves after, but here's the clip from Coach Prime. Yes.
That's hard when you're recruiting by a lot. Because there's a lot of people trick-or-treating. And you got to cut through the tape. You got to do the right backgrounds. You got to call the barbershops, to youth football coaches. You got to call certain people around the neighborhood that know those guys and saw how they were and who they were when they grew up. Because if you want an alpha young, you're not going to be an alpha old. That don't change. Like, alpha is an alpha. Like, that's just how you get down. You walk in the back or the front. That's what it is. So it's up to us to do our due diligence to attract those type of guys and find and identify those type of young men.
Okay, so full context. So Shedeur came back to Boulder this weekend, right? And I guess in one of the videos that are out there, Shedeur basically said that this team doesn't have enough alphas, pretty much, right? And so Coach Prime was asked today, when it comes to recruiting, how hard is it to find out whether a guy is at alpha or not? And that was him explaining that question.
Yeah, it's team building. It's a real balance. It's a challenge. It's even harder, I think, in this era of college football, where everyone's bouncing around and you might find one and lose one. You might think you found one and not find one. Back in the day, you used to be able to develop guys. And it's a lot less common now to say, okay, we think this kid has it, but he's only 17, 18 years old. Mm-hmm. We're going to bring him in here and we're going to teach him how to be the guy that, we think is best for him and best for our team. It's just not the way it is anymore. You're essentially searching around the country to try and find what you want based off of film and discussions you can have on the phone. But as I said on the post-game show, you don't really know what you have until those guys are on campus.
Yeah.
And, all of us have been in a job interview before. They ask you, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Well, you're going to hammer the strengths part. And your weaknesses, you're like, one of my weaknesses is I feel like I just care too much. And, sometimes I work too hard.
Yeah, facts.
That's what people do. You're having these conversations like, hey, are you a dog? Like all this stuff. Of course, everyone's answer is yes. Yeah. You get on campus, hey, do you watch film? Yeah, of course. You get on campus, all of a sudden those guys aren't doing it. So it's a challenge. It's a skill to be able to uncover those guys. And it goes back to what I was saying on Saturday night about finding guys who have pride in the university, and that's harder than it's ever been. And the only way that you can get that a lot of times is with longevity.
Right.
When Jordan Seaton's hopefully going into his third year next year with the program, like it's going to mean a little bit more to him. He's going to have some like feelings in his heart about Ralphie and Folsom Field and things of that nature. And, might as well just go into talking about the fight song, which has become a topic of discussion.
Can I just say one more thing before you go into
recently?
that?
Yes.
just about the recruiting. Like when you're recruiting as a coaching staff, as a program, you're a lot of times saying what a player wants to hear. And the opposite is true. When you're getting recruited, you're saying what you think these coaches want to hear. And that can sometimes lead to some disconnect when stuff gets real. Mm-hmm. I think of it kind of like dating. Like when you dating a shorty first couple of dates, they're like, oh, this is great. Like she's super chill. And then you move in. And then you're like, oh, you a little different. That's not what I thought it was. And I feel like that's very similar to recruiting. Like, yeah, when you recruiting and you see them
can't relate.
once
I'm
a
one
month.
For one. I'm moving in.
So proud of you. Must be nice. But you know what I'm saying? Like you see somebody once a month on a visit, they come to your school, you come for a game day visit. It's all good for them 12, 14 hours that you together. But when you're together 3 months at a time and you get to see all the little small details about that individual person, you get to see what they're really like. And a lot of times you're bamboozled. You know,
happens to the best of us.
Happens to all of us. A guy that you thought was a dog is in fact a cat. Or vice versa. And that's just the reality of recruiting. It's been like that since the beginning of time. And it will continue to be misses and will continue to be hits. But you just got to hope that you hit on more than you miss for sure.
That's why it's so important to truly recruit guys who want to be here. Like when you see that reaction from Preston Ashley and Xavier Payne, quote tweeting Coach Prime's quote about being a dog or a cat.
Correct.
That's exactly what you want. And it is hard to find that stuff. And it's something that, again, you don't really know until they show up on campus, but it's also shown in time too. Like that's just learning a person. I mean, you could talk dating, recruiting, whatever it is. Like you truly don't know a person until you spend a lot of time around them, right? That's what it is with recruiting too, especially when these are young kids growing and all that. So,
Thanks.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So like I said, the fight song has become a hot topic over the last couple of days. And I go back to word for word what I said on Saturday night. This is a microcosm. And the reason why it's coming up right now is because the team, especially over the last 2 weeks, especially in the second halves, does not look like they're playing with pride. Does not look like they're playing with passion. And like I said, doesn't look like they're playing with a sense of pride for the name on the front of the jersey. Mm-hmm. The fight song in and of itself is not going to win or lose you games. And Coach Prime actually has listened to the OBs, listened to Colorado donors, and tried to teach the team the fight song. He had the governor up there last year teaching the team the fight song. During this era, it hasn't stuck. That's for sure. It hasn't, the tradition of singing in the fight in the locker room after a win, which I have seen firsthand. Matter of fact,
so you have been there?
I have.
Oh, okay.
I have when I was a kid. Changed me. Who knows if I would be here today if I didn't have those experiences.
Could have been a transformative moment for you.
But the fight song in and of itself doesn't win or lose games. It's, to me, a microcosm of how do you get guys to really put on that uniform and care about the school.
Yeah.
And it's a big challenge, and I think something that has to be taken head on if it's something that Coach Prime deems to be important. Mm-hmm. Because if you look at last year, going into the season, after the 4-win season, what did he harp on? Team camaraderie.
Yeah.
And they nailed that, I thought. The difference in the level of team that we saw from the first year of Coach Prime and the second year of Coach Prime was totally different. So it's something that, if that's a route you want to go down, I think it can make a big difference and can actually go into the team camaraderie part of it as well.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're all in this together. We are putting on this uniform together. We are part of something bigger than ourselves. And I've heard Coach Prime talk about that too before, about how, you're representing all of the people that have put on this jersey before you as well.
Definitely.
But it's not the actual fight song itself, which is a very meaningful part of Colorado tradition. Not every school has a fight song that like the fans know word for word.
Yeah.
You go to a Colorado game, the fans are singing the fight song 7 to 12 times a game in the stands. It's part of what Colorado football is. And if you look at some of the greatest moments in Colorado football history, they're usually followed by an awesome moment in the locker room singing the fight song. So I agree with anyone who says that could and should be a part of this. But to me, it's a small side effect of the tougher situation, which is in the NIL era, in the transfer portal era, can you get guys to truly love the school? And I'll add that I think if you can, your player retention and player development goes up.
Well said, bro. 100%. I know. I mean, I remember one of my favorite memories from playing college football. My senior year, we upset a perennial top 25 team at the crib late in the year. And I got a video still on my Snapchat memories of, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know the fight song, but most of our team did. And we were like, I was like kind of half chanting in the locker room, but like it was one of my favorite memories. I ain't gonna lie. And like you said, like that type of stuff like means something when everybody is saying the same thing, chanting the same thing. Like I had conversation with, Matt Smith. We're talking about Bears head coach Ben Johnson, who was kind of, brought back. I don't know if you've seen like the good, better, best, like the chant that he does after every win in the locker room. It's dope. You should check it out. But like that, it's kind of in the same vein. Like when you have a bunch of grown men singing or saying and chanting the same thing with like camaraderie, like that builds something that you can't tangibly touch, but you feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in big moments like that. So I don't know how this pertains to this specific Colorado football team and whatnot, but I do know that it could potentially have real impacts.
I mean, fight songs are a big part of that word pageantry that you hear when it comes to college football, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of those special tradition type things. And it's what we love so much about this game and this sport, specifically college football, is the pageantry, right?
Yeah.
It's just hard to hold on to in this day and age with the player movement that's going on right now. Because as Coach Prime would tell you, there's a lot of guys out there who are just looking for a check, who, you know, they don't really love this game. They don't really love the school they go to. They see it not even as something that they enjoy doing. They see it purely as a job, even in college at this point, right?
Sure.
Just to collect a check, just to get their degree and get out or whatever, even if that's what they want to do. So I think you're right. I mean, look, yeah, would it help? Of course. Do I think it directly translates to winning games? Probably not. I don't know for sure, though. But also, like, it's very tough, I think, in this day and age to harp on that when there's so much other team building issues going on that we're experiencing right now. You know what I mean? And yes, could it be a microcosm? Of course. But it's also a thing, I think, with Coach Prime. I mean, he's only been here 3 years. Like, I think once you kind of get another full class in, like once the Jordan Seatons and the Julian Lewis, like you said, they're in year 3, and it's like purely their program, I think you're going to see a lot more of that pride for the program and playing for the name on the front of your jersey in the back, as opposed to whatever we've seen, you know, especially this last year.
I think Ken hit it on the head, and S has a similar sentiment. These type of conversations only come up when the team is losing.
Of course.
Straight up. Was last year's team singing the fight song in the locker room after games?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But nobody was tripping about that because I was a 9-win team. You know what I'm saying?
I remember it after the Nebraska win in 24 specifically.
23.
Or 23, yep. But that's the only one that I specifically remember my brain. That doesn't mean it hasn't happened before. But it's totally true. It goes back to what I said last week when Coach Prime made a hilarious quote and no one thought it was funny. It's like, yeah, you don't get to be funny when you're losing. No one thinks you're funny when you're losing. And when you are losing, people look for any people want to turn over any rock.
That's the reason why.
Yes, people want to turn over any rock to try and figure out why it's happening. And so I go back to, this is not the issue.
Yeah.
Right.
But I understand why people feel really passionately about that. And the last thing I'll say is that anyone who's trying to tell you that I don't care about the fight song doesn't know shit about me. For real. And anyone who does know me knows that I'm belting that shit at the top of my lungs, at the tailgate, in the stadium, after the game, in the bar. I'll be in West Virginia belting that shit.
It's true.
To the band. So I just happen to have a little bit more perspective on where we are currently. And I do see the value in it, and I do think it could be an important thing. You talk to someone like Philip Lindsay, who lived and died with this shit when he played for Colorado. Like he'll pour his heart out about how much that means. I saw someone in the comments say, like, you can't turn up to it. I think you can if you really buy into it. If you really buy into it and you're belting it out, and hell, drop the beat right on that last fight, and then turn up to that. But again, this is more about me than anything else.
Also, I mean, Kirk Herbstreit was talking about, I can't remember who he was talking to about this recently, but it came across my timeline. And he's talking about how just tradition in college football, it's slowly drifting away.
Yeah.
And you can see this just in the top 25. When you see teams like Indiana up there, when you see BYU, Texas Tech, like Virginia, all in the top 12, like the playing field has been leveled. Recruits are caring less about tradition, I think, at this point. They're not committing to LSU and Alabama and Michigan because of tradition anymore. They're committing there because they're most likely getting bigger bags from those schools. You know what I mean? Like, and there are some guys out there who are like, it's been my dream to always go to the University of Texas or whatever, right? And I grew up burnt orange, and I'm just so excited to put this jersey on. Like, yeah, that still exists, but it's not like waves of guys like you used to see. It's just how players are acquired and how you retain them, and what they're interested in is completely different than it was 10, 15, 20 plus years ago.
Totally. And that's the exact point that I was trying to make on Saturday night.
Yes, 100%. But it's not even like a Colorado thing at all. Like, this is
it's a college football
sport
thing.
has changed.
Exactly.
But
times have changed.
If I could bring up the tarps off section on Saturday night. All it takes is a couple people to start a trend.
That's true.
And so all it takes is one Philip Lindsay to say, like, nah, this shit's fire, and we're all going to buy into it. Mm-hmm. But those Philip Lindsays don't grow on trees.
Exactly.
Yep. Anyways, back to recruiting. The Buffs did get a commitment today in 2027, 4-star wide receiver Alex Ward, the younger brother of Colorado commit Christian Ward. Christian's the one who played with Julian, right, at Carrollton, and then now he's at IMG. Is that correct?
That's exactly right, brother.
Alexander Ward, again, he's 2027, 6'1", 174 pounds, also at IMG. He's a blue chip recruit, 285th overall player, 14th ranked athlete in the 2027 class. The Buffs are on the board for the 2027 class, but there's a possibility he may reclassify and potentially enroll with his brother. As you know, it's a family thing. So now you got these two brothers now. We'll see if Alexander's able to actually reclassify, but if not, at the very least, you have a very exciting 2027 prospect to look forward to.
For sure. And I don't know if you mentioned this, and if you did, I'm sorry for saying it again, but this Alexander Ward recently decommitted from the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yep.
Offers from just about everywhere. You mentioned kind of a blue chip-ish recruit in the 2027 class, joining his brother with the Buffs, and that is kind of the word on the street that he could potentially reclassify to the 2026 class. But either way, it's a really good get. And that IMG to Cold Boulder, Colorado pipeline is very much alive and well.
He's also a two-way player.
Oh, yeah.
And mentioned that very specifically in his recruitment.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Emanuel Ruffin, though, has decommitted. That was your top 2026 commit in the class. I mean, the way he ended up becoming a Buff, didn't he just decommit? Or no, he was the one taking his time.
Yes.
He just took an OV to Missouri, though. Missouri just seemingly, I mean, they offered early August, and now he's taking an OV, so they've kind of come a little bit out of nowhere, but that's who's heating up for him right now. So
it's tough. It's the business, though.
I mean, yeah. Go look at Mizzou's last 4 or 5 transfer / recruiting classes.
Yeah. And gotta win, man.
Yeah.
Gotta win to retain recruits and get more.
Nope.
It giveth and it taketh.
Yep.
Last thing from pressers, Coach Prime had a message to the fans. Obviously quite a bit of losing. Here's what he had to say to the fans.
Let me tell you something. We have the best fan base in college football. Supportive, loving, caring. They deserve so much more than what we're giving them right now. I don't want to be the apologetic type of guy, but we're not playing good football right now. They deserve more. They deserve the hope that we gave them over the last couple of seasons that we were going to improve. They deserve more. We're underachieving for them. And my heart goes out to them. I want them to stay supportive, stay in love with the team, stay in love with the team, because we are trending right behind the curtains. If you really knew everything behind the curtains, we're trending in the right direction.
I don't know if he knew the commit was announced by the time he mentioned that at the end there, but he clearly feels good about where they stand. And, I mean, it's true. I mean, you go back to 22, this was a one-win team. Like, if anything, he's instilled hope the last few years. And the hope is kind of dwindling right now, I guess, for the rest of this season for sure, and maybe a little bit for the future from here on out. But, I mean, there's still so much good going on with this program right now. And I know no one really wants to hear about it and talk about it at this point, but perspective, man.
What would you have done 6 years ago if Colorado got a 4-star athlete from IMG Academy?
Yeah, I mean, that would be not just a 5-minute bit on this show. It would probably be the main topic for the whole week.
Yeah. Facts. And it's just a blip on the radar, it appears today.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, totally. And I honestly think that there is a blessing and a curse of being Coach Prime. And part of it is, I think if you had the exact same results year one and the exact same results last year, you lost exactly what you lost last year, and you were going into this year, and anyone but Coach Prime was your coach, most people probably would have said, okay, this is a rebuild year.
Yeah.
But I think that Coach Prime himself doesn't think in that way at all.
Right.
And so he's not going to say, like, hey, just so you guys know, like, we did lose the Heisman Trophy winner and the best quarterback in the nation.
Because
like,
ain't nobody trying to hear that.
Dial it back a little bit.
Yeah.
When, especially he can't say it.
Exactly.
From him.
Exactly.
And then there's so much outside negativity towards this program and towards Coach Prime that the fans like want to dig their heels in even deeper.
Yeah.
And say like, no, we'll show you guys.
Yeah.
Like we are going to do it this year. But I think, and I'm talking about myself here specifically when I say like perspective was lost a little bit this offseason.
Absolutely.
And it's because of the blessing that is Coach Prime.
Exactly.
And also, the curse of the added expectations that come with being Coach Prime. But with hindsight as 2020,
yeah,
it looks a lot more clear now. And for them to be able to build off of what they did last year, they're going to have to hit on a lot. And the hit rate just wasn't as high as it needed to be. And so that's part of it. But at the same time, like those are incredibly, incredibly difficult shoes to fill.
100%.
And you see it not just in like literal gameplay, like all of the passes that Shedeur would have hit or the catches that Travis would have made, but even just the energy that exists within the program. Like the way that Shedeur, I think, rallies a team around him is a special trait that I think was harder to replace than anyone expected.
Yep. Well said. We're headed to overtime. So if you're watching on television, head on over to DNVR.com. Before we got a few more things we're going to talk about. The CFP comes out tonight. We'll get to that here in a second. And CU men's basketball. Shall we do Taco Tuesday real quick?
Yeah, it's actually Pie Tuesday.
Oh. Well, allow us to explain.
Breaking news. Taco Tuesday, trade deadline Tuesday, and we have breaking news, Andre.
Insane.
It's not about a trade, though. It's about something bigger and better. It's the Mountain Dew Baja Blast Pie from Taco Bell. Literally no one knows about this. We might be the first people that don't directly work for Taco Bell that have even tasted this.
I think you're right.
So, look at that. It's great packaging.
Yep.
I don't know how to open things. Maybe like that. Oh, God.
That's the thing.
This is a disaster. Oh. Whoa. I'm getting like key lime pie
It's
vibes.
big key lime pie vibes, and you famously are a key lime pie guy.
Huge key lime pie guy.
Yeah. I love that we each have a pie to ourselves.
Yes, well, it's exactly
Maybe
what
we
we
should
need.
stick to yours.
Sure.
Just break into that.
Save one
bad
for the
boy.
people. It is one per person.
One per person coming out Friday. Ooh-wee.
These
Get yours while supplies last. Limited one per customer. That's how precious and valuable these are.
chop that baby up.
Okay. Okay. I think we're cooking here. Okay.
Really aggressive slice size there.
Yeah. Well, you wanted bigger? I figured you need a little sampler. You
So
know.
teamwork. Look at that.
Look at that.
All right. I can't wait for you.
No, get Baja blasted.
Once in a lifetime opportunity to be the first person to try this.
Yeah.
Wow. It really does taste like key lime pie. And that's a huge dub for me. Great crust. You actually have to try this. Like, this is one of those things that you probably need to try before you pass away.
Oh. Hey.
Right? Yeah.
Wow.
So get to your nearest Taco Bell on Friday. It might be the only chance you have to get it
real
because
pie
these
right
bad
there.
boys are gonna go quick. Breaking news: the Taco Bell Mountain Dew Baja Blast Pie. It hits.
That does hit.
Never thought I would say those words all together at once. But
Shout out Taco Bell for always pushing the boundaries, man.
and I'm not even like a Baja Blast stan. Like those exist.
I know.
They're gonna be, like stepping all over each other trying to get their hands on to these pies on Friday.
Yeah. It's like Black Friday when they
Yeah,
open the store.
exactly.
Just you better get out of the way, man. Shout out Taco Bell.
For real.
Yeah, the CFP rankings come out tonight. I don't know if you guys saw the AP top 25, but yeah, Virginia's 12. They're the last team in right now. BYU and Texas Tech are 8 and 9. They've got Ohio State number 1. There are 3 undefeateds: Indiana and Texas A&M. Who do you think is gonna be number 1?
Ohio State.
Think so? I think the committee, they like to mess with this.
Who else could it be?
It's true.
Indiana and A&M.
The best thing that they can give like the talk shows is change.
Yes.
So they might put Indiana.
You know what? Let's just put Indiana there.
And then you get like the entire Ohio State fan base like crashing out. Like, we won the national championship.
Yep, and that's when you see 1.3 replies under the tweet for the thing because it's just generating reaction.
Yep.
That BYU Texas Tech game this weekend is damn near a playoff game.
And that's game day, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yep.
Yep.
You think only one Big 12 team?
Yes.
No, they'll have both BYU and Texas Tech
In tonight?
in the top 12. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were
But-
saying like the final, like in the
Well,
playoff.
what about in the end? Do you
Oh,
think
in
that
the
one of them
end?
is going to get knocked out next week and never get back in?
Yes.
I mean, it'd have to be BYU then because Texas Tech already has a loss, I think. But maybe Texas Tech does get the benefit of the doubt of, just what you've seen from them in the Utah game and in other games that it's like they just have
We've smacked everybody pretty much.
like they get a little bit of a pass on that one loss. So
'Cause I feel like the committee does appreciate margin of victory
they do. They
and point differential
And head-to-head.
how- Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Right. So
So what if Tech wins and then both teams win out? Going
Probably
into
come-
the Big 12 championship.
probably come down to who wins the title game.
And you just think it's one no matter what.
Yep. I do.
I think Texas Tech will get the state of Texas boost if they are able to keep it at one loss until the Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
I'd be
It's just tough
surprised.
with that loss they already have on their resume right now, though. Like, if they were going
Right.
undefeated into this game and then they lost to BYU, like 100%.
Because the SEC getting what, 3 teams in? Probably.
Well, and then Sark today. Did you see Sark today? He's like,
No.
it's ridiculous. We only got 3 teams in the playoff last year. It's like, what
That's
are you
what I'm-
talking about, bro?
They're gonna get for sure 3. They might get 4. And the Big Ten is gonna get 2, maybe 3. You're gonna get your group of 5 team. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get your ACC winner. And honestly, the ACC might get a couple of teams in.
Who's the group of 5 team that'll be in tonight? North Texas?
So the highest ranked right
Maybe.
now is Memphis, I believe.
Oh yeah,
Brendan Lewis.
Brendan Lewis, yep. JMU is in.
Yeah,
They're
true.
receiving some votes right now. San Diego State's receiving some votes. South Florida, North Texas. Shout out North Texas.
Facts.
What's the guy's name? quarterback. Do you remember?
Westamaker or something like
Something
that.
like that. He's sick.
He is sick.
Um,
But yeah, I can see
So.
South Florida or Memphis would probably be my picks right now. Although JMU, that'd be fun.
I don't know how no one swooped up Byron Brown this offseason.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, again, he might be a package deal with Galesh this year because if he graduates, he can go wherever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
Maybe he learned the South Florida fight song. Never leaving.
Maybe. We'll see. So, yeah, tonight, 2 hours from now, give or take, we'll get the CFP rankings. CU men's basketball. It was
Hell yeah.
that was a battle.
It
Yeah, it
was.
was.
They end up pulling it out late in the game. And Isaiah Johnson, I mean, the Buffs have a new star.
Tad did it again.
You got Dwayne Wade in the building, damn it.
Yeah, he did. Tad did it again, man. He has a knack for finding great point guards. And you had Spencer Dinwiddie, then you had Derek White, then you had McKinley Wright, you had KJ Simpson, and you can add Isaiah Johnson to the list, man. True freshman, backs up against the wall at home, like somebody save us.
Somebody.
And it was him.
The freshman.
That was sick.
I mean, he's already putting the McKinley Wright stuff on him basically after the game, like comparing him to him
And
directly.
McKinley's
Yeah,
saying, we got
quote-tweeting.
another one.
And so did KJ too. He was like, I told y'all he was like that. He got on that number 2 for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that was such an impressive debut for the true freshman, Isaiah Johnson. I mean, 22 points in the final 15 minutes of that game.
Yep. Well, and so Isaiah Johnson's dad is like a very renowned
Chris Johnson.
basketball trainer,
Correct.
which
Chris
I
Johnson.
assume is the connection to Dwayne Wade, which is why Dwayne
Yeah.
Wade is IJ's godfather.
For sure, yeah. Isaiah's father, Chris, like you mentioned, is a renowned NBA trainer. His clients, D Wade, obviously, LeBron, Tyrese Maxey. There's a 0% chance that LeBron James comes to a Colorado basketball game this year, especially if Isaiah Johnson keep playing like this. I mean, bro looked like a 3-level scorer, like getting to the rim, finishing on with both hands, had the 3 ball going. This is a talented young man, and like you said, Tad, he gonna find if Tad Boy does nothing, he gonna find him a dog point guard.
Yes. The pull-up 3
Yes,
in transition
yeah.
with like 2 minutes
with
left.
the game literally in the balance.
Yes,
like
bro.
a true freshman doing that is crazy.
Yeah, that.
So I'm excited to watch him and the rest of that team this year.
The Buffs play again on Saturday,
Yeah.
right after the football game at 2 p.m. local time. They'll be taking on Eastern Washington at the CU Event Center.
Heck yeah.
I'll be tuned in.
For real.
Anything else today, gentlemen?
I don't think so.
Everyone be nice to each other.
Pigsby.
Do you have any opinions on Hugh Freeze being fired? It's like the 4th big-time college football opening in the last 4 weeks. And also, I think it's weird because I think it's after every team Texas A&M has played the last 4 weeks, they've ended up firing their coach, I believe.
Wow.
Damn, that's like how everyone loses after they play the Broncos.
Yeah.
It was Florida, obviously.
LSU.
LSU.
That's how low they think of Arch Manning.
No, A&M.
Oh, A&M.
Yeah.
That's even worse. Marcel Reed, they think that poorly of him.
That's my Heisman winner. Right now.
Okay, so it wasn't. They didn't play Auburn this week, but they played Florida, then Arkansas, then LSU.
Arkansas, right? Yeah.
So
No.
So is that 4 vacancies in the SEC right now?
I believe so.
That's kind of crazy. This carousel is going to be wild this offseason.
Yeah, and 3 of those are Auburn, Florida, and LSU.
Yeah.
Who's gonna get hired?
I don't know. That's politics.
Well, that's what Sark was saying. I actually saw the
Yeah.
clip. He was like, these teams, like, are these schools firing coaches? Who are you going to hire?
Well, and like Penn State's like on their 3rd option already, basically.
Exactly.
Maybe even their 4th. I saw something online that they tried to interview Urban Meyer, and then he bombed like their 2nd interview. So now they had to take him off the list.
Wait, who interviewed Urban?
Penn State.
Oh my!
no way.
They wanted Signetti and Rule. Those were their first 2 guys.
Bro.
They got extensions, and then I saw something about them talking to Urban. Apparently, he just bombed something, which is
Interviewing
unsurprising.
Urban Meyer to be your head coach in the big year 2025 is insane.
You got to be desperate at that point if you're Penn State. You were the first one to make a move.
This is
Exactly.
what I was saying when they fired him, bro.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, Who are you going to get?
You can't do that unless you have somebody in mind that you have a real good feeling that you're going to land.
You know who is going to become part of a bidding war? Or should be?
Lane or Kenny?
Kenny Dillingham.
Yeah. Should be Lane or Kenny.
Kenny Dillingham might get numbers thrown at him that he simply cannot say no to. Talking
For real.
north of $20 million a year.
Especially if, and I don't know if it doesn't seem like this could be the case, but especially if him and Sam Levitt are a package deal.
100%.
That could drive his stock up even further.
Yep. I mean, things could get crazy because all these schools need coaches, and there are not a lot of guys just hanging out there.
Right.
Who aren't locked up.
We just started November, too. Like, more coaches are going to be fired this month.
Right, for sure.
More coaches are going to be fired at the end of the month when the season's over.
Yep.
But a lot of the coaches that are about to get fired soon are going to be the ones who get hired by the lower tier schools.
Most likely, yeah. Yeah. Like, we'll see if Norvell hangs on at FSU.
Can't imagine that.
You know, there's a handful of others elsewhere.
Because who did Virginia Tech? Who are they on the verge of hiring? James Franklin.
Really?
Oh, really?
I think that's the rumor out there.
Interesting.
So that's what I mean. Like all of those guys who are going out of the top schools will go to the next tier.
Right.
Anyways,
Brutal.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Okay, let's go to the chat and see what's up. Mitchell, just a $2 super chat. Appreciate you, homie. Jared with the $2 super chat says, Scotty, go peep Roy Oliver III, Hamilton High School, Arizona Gem.
Say less. I know Hamilton be pushing out some dogs in both football and basketball, so I'll check that out, Jared.
all right.
Is court in session? Do we do this right now?
No, aren't we 13 minutes over?
Alyssa's so ready to go.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Go Buffs.
Let's go, Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.